Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get groovin'. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
I'm Justin Ham. Hi, we're here.
Yes, we are.
Do we have anything intro-wise? Because I don't really know if we should.
I mean, we're a video game variety podcast, and we're here.
Good. That's good. That seems good. That seems fine.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
I've got like a couple quick show announcements, but I don't know. Did you seem like you had something?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to know if we did, because I didn't have anything. So I was worried.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, not okay.
Okay.
We'll address the elephant in the room. Okay. Right up front. We were hoping to have a guest tonight.
Yes.
Our buddy Weston from Big Nerd Gaming. So there's some weirdness going on with his mic, which listeners may have picked up a little bit on last episode. I was able to fix it for the most part, but at the beginning of his time on his first episode, it was a little wonky, and it's still that way. And he felt real bad about coming back on and having me have to do like a bunch of extra editing to like get it fixed. So he's going to wait until he can like figure out, a different solution to come on. Which is, that's fine. Like I appreciate that for him because like it the last time it was like a full day of editing to get that done.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
But at the same time, we were both kind of hoping to have Weston on to have things to talk about.
Oh yeah,
because neither of us have done shit.
Well,
we've got some stuff, but this will probably be the shortest episode of the Stage Select.
That's fine.
So far.
Every time we say that, it's like 3 hours. So
that's
fine.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know I like talking to you.
Yeah,
Justin,
I like talking to you too, Julian. Or else I don't know what the hell I'd do. I mean, I can talk
this show.
Then again, I can talk to myself for a long time, as is evident by things.
I'm starting to realize your long-term plan of eventually just being the sole host of the Stage Select. I see what you're doing.
No, no, because that means I would have to edit it, and I'm not doing that. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So yeah, if you go, this show's dead. Like, so if you're holding it together.
All right. Well, speaking of holding it together, it's time to announce the first winner and the first game that we are playing for the patron special, the Suffer Select.
Oh boy.
After only 5 votes,
that's good.
Mind you, we have 12. We have 12 paying patrons, so
they're busy.
The outcome could have been different.
They're busy.
We will be playing Panda Hero.
Okay.
I hate you all.
That's fine.
I was actually much more excited about playing BB and Tina because I felt that might be like something that would be kind of funny, but
listen, nobody
awful.
said we can't play BB and Tina. We just have to play the other one as well. We can play both of them.
Yeah, but I want to at least for like the episodes that we're releasing for the Suffer Select.
Well, next time we'll put something else against BB and Tina, and that'll be or something else.
Does BB and Tina become the Quest 64 of Possibly. The Stage Select?
Who knows? Yeah.
We try to push it and nobody's
here's the
biting.
hustle, Julian. Here's the hustle. You make one vote BB and Tina's Adventures with Horses, and then you make them against BB and Tina's More Adventures with Horses, and then they can't. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I feel like we shouldn't do that for the second vote.
No,
but that's definitely an idea.
Yeah, but a couple more.
No,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm there. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
So yes, Justin and I will be purchasing and playing this game, and then we'll talk about it probably. So we're I'll get into that. The next time that we sit down to record, we will also record that discussion before we do the actual main show. And at that time, we'll also announce the what you can vote on for the next edition of the Suffer Select. And thus we will go until we don't have patrons anymore or we decide to do something else. I don't know.
Right.
It's all loosey goosey we're 14 episodes in. You know what this is now. You know what we're about.
Well, I would like everyone to know that as Julian's describing this, I am buying Panda Hero because
I can do that shit too.
I did it. It's done. Okay. Thank you for your purchase. You're welcome, Steam. You don't have to do it, Julian. I just wanted to tell them that it's happening. And I'll even go so far as I'm going to stream the damn thing, just so there's evidence that I played it, so nobody thinks I bitched out on it or anything. You know?
Oh, dude! I didn't actually. Well, what just happened?
What happened? What did happen? I don't know.
Oh, for whatever reason, when I bring up the Steam store, sometimes it just does this thing where my monitors turn off and everything goes away for a split second and then it's back and it's weird.
Wow.
And it's only with Steam. I don't know what the deal is, but that's a thing.
Do you use big picture mode or anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing that I could. I love how this game doesn't have controller support. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh no.
I can't wait. I bet it does. Don't worry. There's a ton of them that say that actually do.
Okay. What I was about to say is that I didn't actually look at the trailer for Panda Hero, so I got a whiff of the music just now when I went to go to the store page. Good. And oh shit, dude, this is going to kill my soul.
It's going to be great. I can't wait.
So that's happening.
All right. That's good.
And if you want that episode, once it goes out on Patreon, Patreon, that first episode is going to be available to the $1 key grip tier. So if you just want to get a taste of it, just throw us $1 for a month, download it, listen to it. And then if you don't care, you can just drop the Patreon or whatever, or stick around and upgrade to the $3 tier. And that'd be awesome too. But no pressure. It's just something that we're doing.
Yep.
And then the other thing, just a reminder, simply because the first episode came out, our Wu-Tang Shaolin style episode with retrofits has come out as of this recording.
That's good.
And that was a lot of fun. And I'll have a link again in the show notes to the retrofits YouTube channel, because if you try to just look up retrofits on YouTube, you get a bunch of dude bros doing car mods and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I recommended, so it was your idea to do Wu-Tang Shaolin style, Justin. And I was like, well, I want to do a suggestion. And I was like, well, what's the 4-player thing that we can do? And then I was like, oh, I know.
Is it Fusion Frenzy?
No. I shot James a DM, but he hasn't responded yet. So hopefully he's down for that, because it would bring me joy.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
That's it for any of that preambly stuff or anything. I guess I'll go first real quick, because, I did check out the biggest brand new release of 2024. The super new, never before seen, MultiVersus.
Oh,
the very, very new, never released in the past.
I had heard a lot about it, and how good it was going to be. But I don't know. Is it, is it any good?
Came out this week for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time. Nobody's ever played it before. So
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Free to play. It's a platform fighter a la Smash Brothers. I think it's a pretty cool concept, because though it is unfortunate that WB as a company seems to not understand how to run their company anymore.
Right.
They do have a lot of really cool properties that would be really good in a mashup game like this. Downloaded it, fired it up after work, and it wanted me to have a WB account, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but I can't play the game unless I do it. It's like, okay, let's do it. And so I started to make the process of doing it, but then it sent a like a confirmation link to the email that my Xbox account is attached to. And my email, like my Xbox email is a Hotmail. It is my first email.
Oh, wow.
And the only reason that it's still around is because it is tied to my Xbox and I can't change it. Like, apparently you can't change your email account for your Xbox. Like, that's the thing the friend of the show, John Gholson, has run into when he bought his Xbox.
Yeah.
So it's either start a new account and like lose all of my games, which we're talking about, since 2006. Like, right. I'm not doing that. Or just continue to have this Hotmail account that it exists only for like purchase, like Microsoft account stuff.
Yeah. I feel like there's a way to get an alternate going for it. Like, you can have it tied to something, but because I swear to God, I've done stuff like that on Xbox, and my Xbox is an Outlook account, which I don't fucking use. I haven't checked that once.
No,
because I think
nor should you. It's Outlook.
Yeah, I think they make you get it or something.
I think they do. Yeah. I don't think that you can have like a Gmail or like a non Microsoft email.
But I've used Gmail on there for stuff. And yeah, so I'm not sure. I swear maybe it's like it might be just in my head I'm using Gmail, but like actually like it was for like some Ubisoft thing or a different thing. Yeah. It might be that, but I don't know. Yeah, I get, actually probably I messed up because I now that you say it, I probably could have had the link direct to my actual email because it would still know that it's tied to my Xbox account. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that next time. Yeah, try it out.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
But as it is, I didn't actually play the game.
Right.
I mainly just did it for the joke of like brand new 2024 game that's never been released before. That makes me laugh. I'm impressed that they actually got Mark Hamill to come back yet again for the Joker, because I thought he was super done, especially after Kevin Conroy died.
Yeah.
But he is doing the voice acting for the Joker that just came out.
Right.
Which I was really surprised at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that game looks cool to me.
Yeah.
Like, there are concepts in it that I think are really neat, and I would be down to play it, even though like I have only played the first Smash Brothers game, and I've only ever bought the one that was on the Switch.
Okay.
So like, and I haven't played any other platform fighters, but even so, like, I love the concept of it. It's more just that I don't really have anybody to play them with. So that's kind of,
you kind of need somebody to play them with. I mean, I played Ultimate, the Smash Brothers Ultimate or whatever, the one that was on Switch. And by like the single player mode, and it was fun enough, I guess. But
it had some cool stuff. I just got bored.
I get bored with those games. I get bored and very frustrated with them. There's something about them that really frustrates me, and I think it's because I'm really bad at them, and I lose track of the character, like, because they do all sorts of camera stuff, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm at anymore. I have no idea, and then I just fall off the end, and I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, if you've been playing them nonstop since like the N64 days, you're fine. But if you just dabble, it can be a lot.
The first one I played was Melee, and with the GameCube one, and that was with a bunch of friends, and they loved it, and I hated it then. I was the one guy like, do we always have to play this? I hate this game.
Oh man, my staff at my Game Fellas store, they would hang out at night, or like, they would do like hang out at each other's homes like after work and stuff like that, and they would do like all night like 4-player 99 stock matches that would take them like most of the night to just get through the one match.
I would lose my mind. I would lose my fucking mind. I don't even want to be near that when it's happening. Like,
sure,
yeah. Oh God.
Oh man.
Yeah. That sounds miserable. Oh my God. I used to like one stock matches because at least I'd be like, okay, yeah, this character does stuff, and then they fall off a cliff and die. I'm like, okay, next guy, what do you do? And then you just go through the rock. That's all I wanted to do. I was like, I just want to see what everybody does and move it right along. That's okay. Joker shoots the guns. That's good. That's cool. That's fun. All right, next. What? Because
I think back then that might have been my first introduction to the idea of a main, because
Yeah.
I have always played fighting games as the roster.
Right.
I like to play everybody in a fighting game, especially Street Fighter. Like it was funny because we haven't had him on the show yet, but a friend of ours from the Pixelbit days and from Nerds Without Pants days, JD.
Yeah.
He's a huge fighting game dude.
Yeah.
Right. And he is a Chun-Li main.
Right.
Right. And one year, I used to do this thing with my cousin when I still spoke to my cousin, where like it was usually like New Year's Eve, like we would get on Street Fighter 4 on Xbox Live, and we would play 100 matches, and and the thing is that we knew each other so well that it would always come down to like 101st match because we'd be tied at the end, which was always like really fun. But JD is much better at Street Fighter than I am,
right?
But the difference is that like in those 100 matches that we played, probably like 82 of them he played as Chun-Li, where of the 100 matches that I played, like I played everybody and repeats of a lot of them because that's what I like to do. Yeah. Right. So like he has a much more focused, application that where he's like incredible with Chun-Li, but anytime that he would like move off of Chun-Li, that's when I would do better because like, well, I can adapt to using this character, that character, and blah, blah, blah. It's a very different type of thing, but with Street Fighter 6, I was kind of I've mainly only played like Marissa.
Yeah. They kind of encourage it a little more in the newer fighting games, I think. Like even like Tekken does and stuff, like a lot of them do.
Yeah, especially with the way that like you have it set up to where you actually have to select a character for matchmaking.
Oh yeah.
Which I've talked to you. We've talked about this in the past, but it's like I get the idea that it saves like a little bit of time when you're starting up an online match. But I like having the option to select a character. I like that tension of like who you're gonna pick,
right?
I
guess you kind of have it still is like, oh, I don't know who's gonna show up, and then the screen comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for Street Fighter 6, because you actually see the character splash screen when you get matched up immediately.
Yeah,
so it's like, here comes a new challenger, and it's Jamie, and it's like, okay.
Oh, right away. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I meant to fire it up to try out Akuma, and I didn't.
Oh, are they out? That's cool. I should try that out, actually.
I really don't like his design. I didn't like his design in 5. It's better in 6, but that is one where I will grind long enough to get his classic costume because I hate what they've done to him.
Yeah. I mean, you could always just pay money.
I could always pay money.
You could always pay money, Julian.
With any video game, you could always pay money.
You can always pay money.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can always pay money.
Yeah.
Oh, video
games. That would be a good
title
for the episode.
You can always pay money.
Yeah.
It's a good episode title, really. Yeah, you think about it. Yeah.
Our episode titles are so fucked as far as like...
Oh, it's good.
Getting anybody new to listen.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
The last episode was titled, I Want a Toyota RAV4.
Yeah. They're good. They're good cars. They're good quality cars. I unlocked it on stream. It was great. I was fucking happy as shit. I was really hyped. Man, that's a good car. Good quality vehicle, Toyota RAV4, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You get that. If you had that and the Chrysler Sebring together, forget it. What the fuck are you going to do?
Hashtag sponsored stream.
I mean, it's not, but
No, it's not.
I mean, you can if you go on my stream, you can look at a Chrysler Sebring convertible. I need to make a slideshow. Apparently that's a thing I can do. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best slideshow anybody's ever seen. Tell you what.
And then as you get deeper into it, then make a nice collage of all of the memes that have sprung up over your streams, like Galgura.
Okay, sure, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy. Well, I can make a collage. I did crazier shit just today. You know what? That's a transition. Fuck it. I've been playing WWE 2K24 on PC. I'm not going to talk about it that much. It's weird to play it on PC. It looks way better. There's graphic settings, but they fucking hide them. It's weird. You have to go into like extras for the graphic settings.
Huh.
Yeah. Real weird. It's definitely a console game.
Yeah. Cause I don't, now that you mention it, I don't associate any of those games with PC gaming at all.
Right. They almost every single one of them since a certain year has come out on PC, the WWE stuff. Yeah. But like, I always hear kind of like mixed things, and I always like, sometimes there's a modding scene and sometimes there's really not. And usually it comes till way later on down the road. And by that time you're like, that's like 2 games ago. I don't really care now. But that game is weird on PC. Like I said, it looks good. You can turn all the textures up, and like I noticed that. Like you can definitely see it. The weird thing is like sometimes you'll just go to a like an arena, like, and you'll have a match, but it will feel all of a sudden like you are fighting underwater. Like it's very strange. Like it's slowed down, and then you'll quit out and go back into the same thing just to see if it does it again, and it won't. And you feel like you're losing your fucking mind. Right. It's really weird. But it's still WWE 2K24, I guess. I keep thinking there was one other thing I had to say about it, but it probably doesn't even matter.
Well, I will say that like you before the show, you told me that you picked it up on PC specifically because you want to stream it sometime.
Eventually, I do want to. I have some plans of character creation stuff that I want to show off to because I constantly get asked how I do stuff, and I'm like, okay, listen, I just want to direct people. Like, go look at this. This is what I did. Shut up.
Yeah,
leave me alone. I can't text fucking essay to you because that's what I end up doing a lot of the time because I'm nice. But
I think there's as good a time as any to talk about your burgeoning streaming career, because I watched you stream last weekend.
Yeah.
I don't have like a Twitch. Well, I think I signed up for Twitch through like Nerds Without Pants' email.
Okay.
When I thought we were going to do stuff with the Nerds Without Pants like Twitch and stuff like that. But like I just like I saw that you were streaming, and so I just like turned on my Xbox and fired up the Twitch app and just searched for you.
Yeah.
So I was, I guess, lurking. But that's a thing. Like and yeah, as I have surmised for years, very entertaining to watch you stream.
Yeah,
because you can just go.
Yeah,
like you.
I won't lie. I had to look up something today from one of my streams because I kind of forgot a certain part of it. And I watched it again. I was kind of like having to skip around, and then and I. Every time I'd just sit there for like a couple minutes, I was like, this is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I became enthralled in the
police simulators.
The trials and tribulations of Officer Frank Miller.
Officer Frank Miller, he doesn't let it slide. Does not.
Yeah. And I like to think that he has a gritty noir monologue going on in his head constantly because he's Officer Frank Miller.
I mean, why wouldn't he, really?
Yeah.
He has 5 daughters.
And really probably a really great cop at the beginning, and then has become increasingly like more right wing and unhinged as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
I am now talking about Frank Miller, the comic book person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It could go either way.
It could go either way.
But yeah, Frank Miller is he's a fun guy. He's always talking to Amanda at the front desk.
He's got that nice lurch walk.
That walk is great. That actually
really good.
That actually made me laugh. That was one of the things that cracked me up.
That game looks cool, dude. Like
it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I was watching you play it, and I was like, "This is the exact like middle grade caliber of game that we are missing right now." And if this had come out in the PS2 or early 360 era, it would have hit like a relatively large audience, enough to get like multiple sequels that people would still remember to this day. And people would be like, man, I wish that like Police Simulator would come back with like another game, because I really had fun with those when I was, like 16 or whatever.
They made a 2023 version of the game. I'm pretty sure it's the same people, and it's only on Switch. That's the only place you can play.
Weird.
Yeah. My friend at work, I was telling him I was like, I've been playing this Police Simulator game, and we both started laughing about that. And he's like, I kind of want to play that now. And so he looked it up, and cause he was looking at it on Switch, and he was like, what's Police Simulator 2023? Is that the one I was like, no, that's not the one I've been playing. What the fuck is that? And I look, it was weird. But I'm pretty sure it's the same company because they made Bus Simulator, and that's the same one, at least same publisher. I don't know what's going on with fucking Police Simulator 2023. It's weird. But that game is it's something else. It's real dumb in the best ways sometimes. Like, they just have real random generation bullshit going on where it's just like suddenly everybody you meet has committed insurance fraud for no fucking reason. Just
a lot of women with mohawks that I saw while I was watching.
Yeah, it's all like the same people. The dresses are just going, they have no physics, so they're just people sit down and the dresses are just not doing what you would expect them to. Yeah, what a game. What a video game. I definitely am going to play that. I'm very excited because I think now I got to look it up. There is a DLC coming out for it where you get to be the highway patrol.
Yeah, you had mentioned that. Yeah.
That's going to be new.
You're not a Super Troopers fanatic like I am, are you?
No, I am not. I know of it, and I knew a lot of people that were very into it. I have seen it before. I'm 100% positive, but here's the thing. I was very high and I don't remember a lot of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I would not be able to play that DLC without constantly quoting that movie.
Right.
I would just be like, you know how fast you were going? How fast you were going.
Right.
You boys like Mexico? Yeah. Like that would just be me the whole time. Like,
right.
Hurry up, meow.
Right. Oh, June 18th. So yeah, not too
soon.
Far off. Couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking like June is definitely like I mean, I'll talk about it later. Like I haven't actually played shit. Like this month got away from me. Like the last 2 weeks, like just kind of, I don't know where they went. Like so the guy who mows my lawn, like he does it every 2 weeks. And I was working the other day. It was like just yesterday.
Yeah.
And I heard like a lawnmower going and it sounded really close. And I was like, can't be my guy. Like, it's not time. It hasn't been 2 weeks. And then I looked at my checkbook because that's the only thing that I pay for checks anymore. And I was like, oh shit, no, he was here 2 weeks ago. Like, where'd that time go?
Right.
So yeah, like this May went by.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, June there isn't much going on that I know of that I can think of. The game I was most excited for was that Life by You game, which was like that Sims like that was coming out.
Right. Did it get delayed?
And that got delayed, and they don't even have a release date anymore. And I was like, that's a great sign. It's like that game might be fucked. So that was a bummer. I mean, it's still going to come out because that's the people that make Crusader Kings. I forget what their name is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then that makes sense because I've played enough of Crusader Kings 3 to know how like intricate those games are. So yeah, I can totally see that.
I don't think it's like the same developer, but it's the same publisher behind it. I can't. Let's find out. Why not? We haven't got anything to do today.
That's actually a good point because like there's been some discourse lately about how upfront publisher names are and how like downplayed developer names are. And I think part of that is legacy because like when you think back to like Nintendo, Capcom, and Konami, they were the publisher and the developer. Right. So they became, like that's just what you just say, I like Capcom games.
Yeah.
And, you can say like, it's very rare that you know the actual name of the studio within Capcom that did the game because it's Capcom.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this one is Paradox Interactive, which is Paradox is kind of a publisher and they're kind of and developer. Yeah. Paradox Development Studio, Paradox Interactive is the publisher. All Paradox stuff. Let me look up Life by You. Okay, or maybe it just is gone from Steam. That would be fantastic, actually.
That would be a terrible sign.
Really bad sign. No, Paradox. Okay, Paradox Tectonic is doing that game as the developer, but published by Paradox Interactive.
And that is not the developer of Crusader Kings.
No,
they're just under the same umbrella.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys have done. Let's see. What have they? This is it. This is the only game they've ever done. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, this is the first time.
That's starting to paint a picture.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, it'll come out eventually. I I'm kind of surprised that it got that because it was announced as coming out in early access. Like they were like, this is going to be an early access game. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't just put it out there and be like, yeah, and we know it's broken, or whatever.
Yeah. You think stuff like Hades 2 and No Rest for the Wicked might be like changing what early access means because they've come out so polished out of the gate?
It's possible. Yeah, you don't want to.
I can see that.
You also, I mean, even if you are an early access game, you don't want to leave like a bad impression as your first one because then you have to do a whole comeback story type thing, and you don't want to do that because it's hard to get people back once they're gone. So
yeah. You at least want to have something that is like stable and playable enough to where you can. You
want something really promising that somebody's going to have a good time with when they pick up and go.
They can see the potential.
This is going to be awesome when they actually get it finished. Yeah. Yeah. So that makes sense. It scares me that they didn't put a release date on it though. Like that scares me because especially when it had one. Like that's
right.
That's
about
it.
Yes,
that's what's wild about it. If it would have been like maybe around now and then like, but I was like okay then it's fine that they pushed it back. But
yeah.
Yeah, that is
the industry is really whacked right now, man. And I was thinking about this week, and I'm wondering if we're not heading for a crash so much as like a major contraction where everything's going to have to shrink for a while.
Yeah, where
games just have to get smaller and cheaper. For a time, which might be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that might actually be what we need until, because like right now, I think a lot of something that's left out of a lot of conversations, including the ones that we have had recently, is forgetting to mention that like we are still seeing the repercussions of the pandemic, but also the economy right now with like the interest rates and stuff like that. Like there was like a good clip right there where like there was no money available anymore for like investment into this stuff, right? Because like the interest rates were too high. So I can see, and it's getting better now, but I can still see that affecting things for like another year or so.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. The industry, games getting smaller and all that stuff. I mean, I could definitely see that like already kind of happening because there's like but it not being as big a deal as like maybe you might think because there's a lot of like smaller indie studios that are making pretty cool games, and I don't mean like indie games. I mean like games that look like they could be games, but they're definitely cheaper looking and stuff like that. You can tell. Yeah, but like I feel like there are capable studios out there. I was looking at like somebody had a game on Reddit. And all it was like, it was just like a paper airplane game. You just flew a paper airplane, but it looked really fucking cool. It's just like, this is cool, like graphics wise and shit. This looks really cool. I don't know. It's hard to say, man. Hard to say.
Yeah. There was this interesting Twitter thread from some guy who was like in the industry enough to know, that was talking about like the financial realities of game design, talking about like, if you have $100 million game, which would definitely be like a AAA budget game. Yeah. Like before you even start, you have to be able to justify, like, do you believe that the game is going to make more money than investors would make by just parking that 100 million, in the stock market for 5 years. Right. And I do get that mentality, but at the same time, isn't that kind of the point of investing, is that like you place your bets, right? Like it's like
yes, but I see what they're saying too. Yes, you and that's kind of exactly what he's saying though. It's like, but you have to convince them that it's a good bet, and you have to be able to convince them,
right. And I think that's the thing, right? Is that like, they can choose to park the money for a smaller return, but it's more assured, by investing it elsewhere here. But, you never know if something's going to catch fire and be like a massive blow up hit.
Very true.
Right. Yeah. But I think one of the big problems, and I think, I hope this goes without saying when we've been talking about this business stuff lately, but like the undercurrent of all of this shit is that like capitalism is fucked
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it's probably
Yeah.
going to continue to be fucked.
Games.
And this isn't just the video game industry. This is like everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But at some
Oh,
point,
yeah.
like these investment guys and these venture capitalists and stuff, like decided that like there can be like there should be no risk to them at all anytime. They should always make a profit on any investment that they make. And that's just not the way that's not how it's supposed to be. But like that involves like some changing of a lot of fundamental. We need strong structural change, Justin. And I voted for strong structural change, but then she dropped out of the race a month later. So,
well, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there.
But yeah, it's just something that I've been thinking about lately. And actually another thing about this, because I was thinking about like, with the impending announcement of like Nintendo's next console, which will most assuredly just be like an upgrade of the Switch.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, I don't know if I've outright said it on the Stage Select, but legacy listeners from Nerds Without Pants know that I fucking hate the Switch. It's my least favorite Nintendo console. Because I think that it's a failure as a home console as far as like what it can do. And I think it's a failure as a portable because you can't run it for more than a few hours before you run out of battery. So it's not really a great like take on the go type thing. Yeah. But here's the other thing that I realized that and I think this is actually what annoys me more about it. And I couldn't really like put it into words before, but the elimination of Nintendo's dedicated portable hardware eliminated a complete type of game development.
I see the disappointment there. Yeah. I can get
like
that.
Think about like the games that would come out for like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance and the DS, where it was like you would have these like very unique franchises that were built from the ground up for those portables. Right. But then also you would sometimes have like these like ridiculous like ports of not even ports, right? Like different versions of like games that were on the big boy consoles. Right. But sometimes you would end up with something really cool. Like Turok Evolution on the Game Boy Advance is a actually really amazing run and gun shooter. Yeah. A la Contra. Obviously nothing to do with the first person shooters that came out on the GameCube and the Xbox and stuff, but really cool. Yeah. And sometimes you would get like really awesome license games like Stitch 626 on the GBA, Scorpion King on the GBA, right? And like, so it was like this certain developmental mindset, right? Yeah. And like that's where Fire Emblem was able to like find its audience.
I mean, now we wouldn't have Pokemon if you didn't have that stuff because
obviously, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's the obvious one, really. Like
right. And yeah, so that stuff is largely gone now. And I don't think you can get it back. Like I don't think Nintendo can go back to having a dedicated handheld.
No, it's right? They're pretty much stuck in in that mode. Yeah. Yeah.
But it makes me sad because like my favorite Nintendo stuff, probably from the launch of the GPA was almost entirely portable stuff.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have some games that I love on the GameCube, and then the Wii, it's kind of mainly for me, like,
boy, do I hate the Wii.
Mario Galaxy. Well, I'm talking about like the Nintendo first party stuff. It's kind of Mario Galaxy, and that's about it. And most of the stuff I like on the Wii is third party. And then like Wii U and Switch, like it's not a lot. It's that's kind of my thing.
What's sad is I think that I'm not that big of a Switch fan either. But like, I still think it's actually my favorite one of their consoles outside of, we're not counting Super Nintendo,
Super Nintendo's the GOAT.
Let's cut that off there because that's obviously, but everything like from the N64 on, I've been like, I don't care for this thing. N64 was like fine, I guess. People hold that thing in such high regard. I don't get it.
The people who hold it in high regard are the ones who were probably about at least 4 to 5 years younger than us, and B, like had like people to always be playing 4-player stuff with.
It's usually people about my age. Like it's usually like,
well, you're 7 years younger than me, so
I didn't want to say it, Julian, because people become upset, but it is
Look, I'm 44. I don't care. Like I feel younger than most of you 20 somethings that seem to be like really struggling with with your perception of age.
They're backs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like, yeah, for whatever reason, man, people around my age, I argued with somebody at work one day. This was a long time ago about GoldenEye because I was like, they were like, man, I'm going to play that game was so good. I was like, no, it doesn't hold up very well. It's fine. It's, it was fine at the time. And they're like, no, it still holds up. I'm like, okay, bud, you go play it, you go.
Yeah.
But like that, the nostalgia goggles will surely tell them that, no, that game's amazing. And I'm like, okay,
I love
whatever.
to stop where I'm, stop it, completely still to aim.
Right.
Like that feels real good in a first person
it feels
shooter.
great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, at the time it was awesome, but
especially because they actually had like location damage. So that was phenomenal.
That shit was really cool. That was a really cool game when it came out. But,
shot that guy in the ass.
Yes.
He grabbed his butt. It was cool.
It was a whole thing. Indeed.
Yeah.
I agree. But like, and then GameCube, that did nothing for me. Wii did less than nothing for me.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot of GameCube stuff that I really love.
Yeah, didn't care for it at all. Yeah.
Wii is definitely where I drop off because that is the line where like they were going in a completely different direction.
Right. I mean, outside of the only games that I ever wanted to see or play on GameCube was the Resident Evil remake and Resident Evil 4 when it came out. And then it came out for everything else and I was like, okay, I don't care about this thing anymore.
Yeah.
I Animal Crossing was neat because we had 4 people and we all got high and played it at separate times and then sent each other trash and told each other how much we hated them. That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Other than that, not a big GameCube guy. And I mean, what was after that? Wii and then Wii U came out after that? Wow.
Yep.
We're straight into wow, what a bad idea. For whatever reason, I was okay.
Yeah, see, I think the Wii U does is more successful at what it set out to do than the Switch. Like I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. And I loved the fact that like sometimes I was playing it on my TV and then I would like grab the tablet and I would like take it to the other room because at that point I had like my Wii U hooked up in my game room. But then sometimes I would like take the tablet and I would like just like hang out on the couch. Man, I miss that couch. I used to sleep on that couch all the time and I would just like play on the tablet until it would run out of juice. And then I would like, charge the tablet and go back to the TV. It was cool.
Yeah.
And there's actually like a lot of Wii U games that I have that I'm like, man, I want to play it. But at the same time, that is also my biggest like regret as far as buying a console. Absolutely. Because I was 100% depressed when I did that. It was totally like a therapy shopping excursion. And I was like, man, why did I do this? And also it's so annoying to like hook up and it's also really annoying to pack back up into its original packaging.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong when I say the Wii, like I don't like the Wii. I don't like it, but it was a neat idea. That thing was a neat idea.
Yeah.
The Wii U, they always have like neat ideas. This one, like I feel like they were like, this is a neat idea. And then they were like, with the Wii U, and then they were like, we can probably try to improve it, I guess, and make it like kind of a full-blown portable thing, but also you can play it on the TV. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind the Switch, but I just use it as a console. Like, I don't think I'd take that thing handheld ever.
Yeah.
And most of the people that are really high on it love the handheld mode, which that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm curious to see what the hell they make next, I guess. I'm sure it'll be another Switch, some type of Switch.
Yeah. I did hear that like it's almost confirmed that it's backwards compatible, which on one hand,
cool.
that's good because, but on the other hand, it's like, oh, so we're still sticking with cartridges, aren't we? It's going to be 2025 and we're still buying cartridges for a system. That's insane.
Well, it's possible. Yeah. It's either that or the cartridge slot will be there, but it'll only play Switch games and anything new is going to be digital only or something like that.
That's another possibility. Yeah. I can't imagine them doing that though yet. I don't think we're there.
Not Nintendo. I couldn't imagine. I could imagine like Xbox or Sony doing that. Like absolutely. Yeah. Because we're going to get to that point where just discs are just not worth doing. It's going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah. Games are huge. They're fucking huge.
Yeah. And also, like, I've mentioned this to you in the past. It's like, last generation really took most of the fun out of collecting for me because, the games are so big. And even then, like no matter what, you have to install the game to the hard drive. So the idea of just like popping a disc into your system and going, that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone now. Yeah.
And since instructions have been gone since the 360 era. So it's like, what am I really getting here other than like something to have on my shelf? And I do like having things on my shelf.
It's nice.
But I can see myself, going all digital by the end of this generation, with the exception of Final Fantasy games, which I plan on collecting. Well, but at the same time, it's like they haven't released like the last 2 expansions of Final Fantasy 14 on disc.
Right.
So, cause I used to collect those as well. Right. So like, yeah, that's a bummer. Like I don't have a disc of Endwalker on my shelf, and I will not have one of Dawn Trail.
Right. I just keep buying Steam games. I just keep on slowly being like, I'm just going to keep building this little library up. For some reason.
I wish that you could set up your Steam library to show like an actual like shelf of games, like a virtual shelf.
You can make a shelf.
Can you?
Hold on. I feel like you can. I feel like that's a thing. But continue on with what you're going to do. You can make collections. You can create a collection. Hold on.
Put all the porn games over here in this box, and then the real game on the shelf.
You can hide all that stuff. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have like a box or anything like that you can hide all those things.
Box of shame.
Yeah, there is an option.
I talk about them on the podcast. I don't have any shame.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh yeah, add shelf. Right there.
Oh.
It's kind of like you can't, I don't know how much you can actually do to it. Let's find out. Choose what to display on the shelf. You can change or delete the shelf from here too. All right. Let's put, what do I have? Let's see. Let's put Agents of Mayhem on it. All right. Hold on. No. Okay. Go up. How do I do it? Okay. Hold on. I can do this. Shut up.
I'm not saying anything.
No. That's good. This is good.
I'm just entertained.
Agents of Mayhem starts with an A, so it's there.
Yeah, I figured that was the first one on your list.
Okay. To view all collections. Okay, all right.
Man, I wanted to like that game so much.
Yeah, I did too. It's a bummer.
Had some good ideas, but man,
I can't. Okay, this is hard. This is really hard, Julian. I'm trying very hard to drag this into the slot, but the slot is up 2. And I can't do it.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But I would like that. I think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah. All right, well, hold on. Let me see if I can. No. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Oh no. Okay. This. You can just uncategorized. Okay. Yeah. You have to pick a category. Okay. Never mind. This sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind, everyone. You can't. Can't do anything cool with the shelf, but I always remember seeing you can put a shelf. You can add a shelf. Look at that. There it is. But you can't do anything with the shelf. Oh, you can I make a collection? Okay, hold on. No, we got nothing, folks. I don't know if you could tell. Hold on. Let's make a collection, Julian. Let's make a collection. We're gonna. I gotta hold.
I forgot we were talking about you streaming, and we totally went off.
This is the stream. This is what I do. This is the.
No, that's what that was what made me come back to the idea.
This will be this will be Agent Orc Massage. That's the collection I'm going for.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We're gonna create a collection. Oh, you can dynamic collections use filters to create collections that update as your library grows, Julian. So you can use filters to do things. Okay. Now, I want. Okay, Agent Orc Massage. That's it. There it is. Now I want to use. Yeah. All right. Now it shows up. Okay. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. This is good. Okay. Now I want to add Orc Massage to that shelf. Here we go. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Here it comes, everybody. Get ready. I gotta.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I guess it does. All right, Orc Massage, a game I still have not played. Okay,
I know it's a pretty popular one, but I'm good.
Yeah. It just looked really stupid, and that's why I bought it. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, you have to put it in the Agent Orc Massage thing.
I would play Agent Orc Massage.
Yeah, I mean,
like a secret agent who has to infiltrate an orc massage parlor.
Well, now those two things are together on my shelf, and you can make your own little virtual shelf, Julian, if you want to, and it will alphabetize them for you.
Okay.
So there it is. It's not that hard. I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't seem like,
Well, I had to figure it out. I'm not smart or anything.
Well, neither am I, Justin.
Yeah.
So
anyway, streaming. Yeah, I've been doing that. You should go watch it, I guess.
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Shout out to Philip Becker, who he consumes all of the Stage Select content because he was at both of your streams, and he also already commented on the Wu-Tang Shaolin style video at Retrofit. So he can't get enough.
He's out here. He's out here doing it. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Tyrone Swift. You can go watch the stream. I'm going to do it every Saturday. That's my goal. I'm going to do it. That's tomorrow. I don't know when this podcast comes out. It's a days from this podcast, but Saturday. You know when Saturday is.
On Saturdays, yes.
You know when it is.
You will have missed Justin's stream that he's about to do.
You will have missed. Hold on, what will you have missed? I already forgot. I always keep forgetting the name of it. Oh boy. Ah, Jesus, I'm falling apart today. I swear, when I'm by myself, I don't have this problem. But as soon as oh my God, Agent Orc Massage just shows up at the top of my full library. That's fucking phenomenal. Oh, I love it.
You can't change it. That's gotta remain.
No, it's awesome. And okay. So if you put them on their own shelf, they instead of being uncategorized on my little library thing, the way I've always looked at it, but it's now it's okay. All right, now we're on to something. I actually might organize this collection a little bit. It's fucking wild out here. Oh God. My Destiny Girls. That's the one you'll have missed. I didn't even see the name. I just randomly remembered it. See, this is how it works. Get ready for that one.
Are you planning on streaming next Friday since we're not going to be recording that night?
I might. We'll see. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Keep an eye out, listeners, if you're listening to this episode when when it first goes live.
Yep. Half the time I don't know when I'm going to do it. I don't have a good schedule yet. I'm working on that.
Yeah, well, and also your work schedule is bonkers.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes. It's mostly the same every week, but so then sometimes it's just oh, now we're doing overtime and I have to go.
Well, but just the times when you're awake versus when you're asleep during the week is bonkers.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, for sure.
Pretty much unreachable until Friday.
That's about right. Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Who is Mr. Saturn? What is Mr. Saturn? What are Mr. Saturn's political beliefs? Well, I don't know. Let's hear from Mr. Saturn in his own words. Mr. Saturn, running for the independent presidential nomination.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Well, before we move on, Justin, I think we might as well thank the patrons for the month. This episode is coming out at the beginning of June, new month, which means it is time to thank all of our lovely patrons.
Okay.
So we will begin with the executive producer tier. We have Bookie.
We have Casey Curran.
We have David Portnov.
We have Xrian.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Philip, PK Becker. Okay, hold on, but I'm trying to think of a new bit. No. I'm trying to think of a new bit where I try to guess what the PK stands for. Philip,
Pyrokinesis.
Pig Killer Becker.
Sure.
Yeah. Killing pigs.
Yep.
Doesn't like them.
Yeah. ACAB.
Yeah.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have Xavier Krager.
And at the associate producer tier, we have Andrew Wilson.
We have Joel Thoman.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
Yep. Oh, am I supposed to read this next thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
At the key grip tier.
At the key grip tier. I don't know. You usually introduce the tiers, Julian. I don't know how we do this part.
Fair enough.
At the key grip tier, we have Weston.
Yes. And at the free tier, we have Dennis Robertson. Thank you, everybody, for supporting and following the show. You can find the link in the link tree for, as little as $1 a month. You can get the show early, as well as access to some bonus content. And then for $3 and $5 a month, at the other tiers, you can get all of our bonus content and other things as we think of them. We're very freeform. I don't know if you guys have noticed yet. So
I am.
Thank you.
That's how I live.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to do now, Julian?
You wanna do some rumors?
Yeah, we could do that. You sound so lost and sad.
I am lost and sad,
Okay,
Justin.
right.
That'll factor in when I talk about the game that I have to talk about.
That's fair. I only got one game to talk about too, so don't feel bad. It's fine. This is all going well, Julian. It's
Yes.
okay. First off, let's refresh the feed and see where. Okay, all right. Nothing crazy happened. All right. Welcome to the room, Rodeo. Yeehaw. It's happening.
My friend Blissy is very pleased right now. She has a big smile on her face. She loves
I'm glad.
Rodeo.
I aim to please most of the time. We have this one that isn't about fun stuff.
Should say real quick that we are getting into the former E3 season.
Mm-hmm.
Not next episode, but the episode after will be all dedicated to that stuff because, as big a bummer as the industry is right now, I still get excited for new games and, E3 style announcements. So yeah. I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Let's see. IGN says Take-Two is quietly killing Private Division, which is, they make a bunch of indie games.
Cool.
Publish them, killing them off. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
Fuck them? I'm sorry. What?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Fuck them.
There you go.
Fuck them.
It's slightly softer. I turned the volume down. Hopefully,
it's okay.
Let me see.
We got
Let me
it.
see.
Fuck them.
There we go.
That was a good hit. I got to turn it back up. See, some of them are louder than others. It's the whole thing, Julian.
Yeah. Well, I have nerfed the 311 button in the actual editing process due to feedback.
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Ah, there we go. Now it's loud. I like that. That's good. Okay, that stays. I was like, oh, I should turn this down. It's a little bit louder. And then I was testing something out, and then I did that. I'm like, no, this isn't good enough. I should have hit more buttons. Is what I should have done, Julian.
Yes.
Always hit more buttons. Epic Games' next free game is Marvel's Midnight Suns. Okay, who cares? I
keep meaning to. I have almost purchased Marvel's Midnight Suns so many times this year.
I said that, and I was like, that's a good game. It is actually a good game. So if you go on Epic, you can get that for free. Apparently, maybe.
I was thinking more like leading into E3.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm looking, Julian. It's actually a lot to sort through.
Chaotic right now.
Yeah. A lot of it's crazy. Elden Ring DLC previews drop June 4th.
I don't want to see anything else. I'm just going in.
I told you about the state of play leak that happened because Xbox is still doing exclusives. It's not really looking like a whole bunch of crazy shit's happening right now.
Huh. I wonder if that's an indicator of everybody else being kind of bummed about the industry as a whole right now.
Red Dead Redemption not coming to PC anytime soon, maybe.
I thought they announced that was finally happening.
I thought so too, but apparently not. I don't know. That's from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
God, okay, where the hell is the one that I seen that I really was like, oh yeah, I should definitely mention that one. It was a Jeff Grubb rumor, and I believe it said something about, he has not given up on there being a showcase this month or for before E3. So
for who?
For Sony.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Because we were talking about that before the show, because Sony had a state of play the day before we recorded this. And I was wondering if that's all they've got for the summer.
Right.
We won't go into it. I thought the show was fine. Like, there was actually stuff there that I was like, okay, like, new games are always interesting. These are new games. I actually liked that there was a new Dynasty Warriors announced, simply because, like, that caliber of game should not die, and I'm glad to see that. And then the new Astrobot game is now probably my most anticipated game for the rest of the year, because it's coming out in September. So
yeah, I haven't played a Dynasty Warriors in a while. They put one out on Steam recently. It was like Dynasty. It was Samurai Warriors X, Samurai Warriors 5 X, and I was like, huh, that's weird. That's really weird. Here's one. Code Veronica Remake was greenlit in late 2022. Reiterates that 5 Resident Evil games are in development, none of which are RE1 or RE5 remake.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. Code Veronica, absolutely. I want them to remake that.
Yeah, me too.
I had heard a rumor that Resident Evil 0 was one of those, and that they should just take that out of the canon, right? Because one of the things that I like about these remakes is that they're kind of reformulating the canon a little bit and making it like fit better.
Right underneath of it, same leaker. Code Veronica Remake is being developed by Capcom Dev 1, RE2 and RE4 Remake. That's the developer that made that. RE0 Remake is primarily being developed by K2 and M2, Separate Ways and RE3 Remake. So the one that they're giving it to the B team, basically.
So here's the thing, right? I feel bad about that because Resident Evil 3 Remake got a lot of flack for being short, but I was like, yeah, but so was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Like, it was a short game because it also wasn't supposed to be a full-on sequel. Yeah. Right? And I think that it sucks that, like, that team, like, gets blamed for that. And then if you also have them remake Resident Evil 0, which is, like, one of the least popular, like, mainline games.
I think some of the Resident Evil 3 shit is well-deserved, though, because I think they took some people's, like some of the more, like, weird shit that was in that game and just got rid of it. At certain times, like there was dumb shit in there that I was like kind of bummed about. I can't
speak to that because I played Nemesis once when it came out in 1999, and I don't remember hardly anything of it. So, like when I played the remake, I was like, this seems like kind of what I remember. Right. Like I had fun with it.
It's remixed a lot. And there's like I think they take out like the entire graveyard section, and there's like a couple other things in there that were like kind of neat about that game. And I don't remember if they do like the choice-based thing, because that was always kind of a really cool bit in RE3. If you remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah, it was like almost like the main thing. Like Nemesis would show up, and it's like, are you going to set this place on fire or run out the back door? And
that rings a bell now.
Yeah, the shit would go differently depending on what you did. Yeah. I think they got rid of that and like stuff like that. Like the things that made RE3 kind of quirky and neat, they didn't really lean into very much. They just kind of were like, we're going to remix it. And it's still a cool game. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, I feel like a lot of the shit that it gets is kind of like, it's cool. And it's nice that they did it, but it probably deserved a little bit better in my opinion.
Yeah. And Code Veronica gets a lot of flack historically, which I don't really understand, because the thing that I loved about Code Veronica at the time on the Dreamcast was it was, after Resident Evil 2 and 3, which took the series into a much more like action area.
Yeah.
Code Veronica, at least in the beginning of the game, was much more of a like Resident Evil 1 horror style game.
Yes.
And has a lot of the crazier like puzzle elements to it. And man, the Ashfords were fucking crazy, dude. Like they're some of my favorite villains.
Code Veronica gets I feel its shit is well deserved usually too. That game is cool in the beginning. There are certain parts where you can absolutely fuck yourself in that one, and I know that's the survival horror thing. I do get that.
No, but there's a specific boss fight where like if you don't have enough ammo, you're just fucked.
That and there's the enemies like respawn, which is just a crazy thing to me in like an RE game. You know what I mean? Like you're giving people limited ammo, and then like the enemies respawn. It's like okay, that kind of eliminates a whole thing for me. So
which I think in a remake gets completely fixed.
Oh yeah,
right?
So that's what I mean. I'm curious to see how that goes. Right? Yeah, exactly.
And you can maybe reimagine Steve to not look like Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic.
Yeah,
like maybe
you can make him just Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic. That'd be good too.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Sure. I was trying to make a joke about only dating girls that are 25.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you don't do that. No. That's...
Yeah.
No, the character. Like, it'll be Jack.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Midori says Crazy Taxi remake is slated for 2027.
That's further out than I was expecting.
Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi... What is GAAS? Gas?
Games as a service.
Games as a service. Also in the works. Okay. Golden Axe originally planned for 2023, but did not happen, obviously.
But it doesn't. The rumor doesn't say when it's expected. Because that's the one I'm most excited for.
Does not say.
I wonder if we get more of those announcements from Sega, because when they made that initial announcement of those games coming back, they said there were more in the works.
Yeah.
Because I will lose my goddamn mind if a Phantasy Star is in there.
That'd be neat. That'd be cool.
They've got Atlas now. They should probably make a new single player Phantasy Star.
Yeah, that'd be cool, actually. I would love to see Atlas do like a 90s style anime or 80s style anime, like an older anime style as their thing. That'd be really cool.
Make the art style look like Phantasy Star 4.
It would fit in with that aesthetic and everything. I think that'd be a really cool look for that game.
Yeah. And also Phantasy Star just has such a cool like world with like the blending of like the tech and the magic and stuff like that. Like
it'd be cool.
Yeah. Cast Foy on a motherfucker.
Same leaker says Nintendo has been sitting on a Twilight Princess remaster. So
which one is that again?
That's the one that's the werewolf one.
The werewolf one?
Yeah.
Okay. Furries will really be happy.
They'll be into it. People like that game.
Yeah, apparently Nintendo just does that. They like sit on a bunch of stuff. That company is so weird to me, because I know like they've said like publicly that like they can afford to like be in the negative for like 10 years before like it starts to affect the actual company and shit. Like, man,
here's one. So this is the same leaker teases new Live Alive game. I'm into that. Claims Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D includes Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So
okay, that'd
be neat.
Yeah, because like Dragon Quest is one of those series that I came to very late, and I have now played 4, 5, and 6, but I have not played 1, 2, and 3. And so this would be definitely, if that's the case, that would be the best way to do it.
Right.
And then I eventually, I have 7 for the 3DS, and I do want to play it at some point. But I've come to really appreciate what that franchise does as RPGs have gone further and further away from that traditional format.
Right.
Like I used to make fun of Dragon Quest for how, traditional it was, but now it's kind of like a comfort food.
Yeah. All right. This seems to be some stuff. Let's, I don't know if we might be running out of things.
That's fine.
But, hold on, let's keep scrolling here. Yeah, a lot about the Code Veronica stuff. I know I'm scrolling way down here. This is 6 days ago.
Nothing about PS4 or PS5 Pro, huh?
No, nothing so far.
Or that Xbox rumored portable.
And I still haven't seen that Jeff Grubb thing that I seen. So maybe somebody took it down. It might have. Sometimes people on here will, if it's like not an actual thing, they'll take it down. So it might not actually been a thing. Yeah. But you know, that's just the way the rumor rodeo gets rodeoed.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. You're gonna do.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
I'm looking forward to the presentations. I've also got some wacky hijinks planned for that episode.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That should be fun. New character reveal, possibly.
Yeah. I'm gonna grow a mohawk.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Man, you would be so stoked if you could grow a mohawk.
I would be really into growing a mohawk. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be pretty cool.
What was your hair like when you had it?
I didn't have it that long.
Okay. Well, you started pretty early.
Yeah.
With the balding.
By the time I was in high school, I was like, my hairline was about receded as shit. And then,
really?
I take after my grandfather, who was very bald.
Well, that's how it goes. It skips a generation.
No,
my dad's got a full head of hair, and my grandpa was bald as shit.
Yeah. I mean, but it was my mom's father. So yeah, I guess it just skipped a generation and went straight to me. She was, I mean, she's a girl, so she didn't have to worry about it. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, women like their hair thins and stuff. They can lose their hair. Yeah.
But yeah, no, she didn't have that. I did. But see, my uncle did too. He was bald too. So I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bald, hairy fucks. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just how it works.
Yeah. That's like my friend Chris, who like ran with my nerd crew in high school. Like he was the vampire in our crew, but he wasn't cool enough to hang with the actual like vampire goths at my high school. Yeah. So he would hang out with us, the nerds, but like he had like really long hair and everything. But then I saw him like just a few years after graduation, and he had no hair left. Right. And I was like, holy shit.
You'll have that.
That was fast. And he had like a beautiful head of hair. Right. See, my thing is that like I never had nice hair.
Yeah.
Like I used to look like Hank Hill. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like the weird mixing of races that I have resulted in this weird hair where it's like not a full fro, but also like I didn't have the nice wavy hair from the like Mexican side of my family. So it just looked weird.
Yeah.
I think if I could like do something that would make it grow back, I still would, just to have the option. Mm-hmm. But as it is, I usually keep it with I just shave it like Statham.
Right.
Although like since the pandemic, like I've only had my hair professionally cut once.
Yeah.
And I usually just shave it myself, and it always comes out bad.
Fun fact. I have not cut my hair in almost 8 or 9 years now. And this is as long as it gets. That's it.
Oh, that's interesting, because it's not long in the back.
No, I know.
That's weird.
I kept letting it go to like be like,
it all generates on your face.
Yeah, basically. That's it. Yeah, that's really it. And like
your head can only accommodate so much hair.
Apparently
and
it's
all focused in the front.
Apparently so. Because like I was like, eventually I'm gonna have to trim this, and I'll just wait, and I'm not going anywhere. I don't give a shit. So we'll just let it go for a little bit. I wear a hat all the time anyway, because I just like wearing hats. Yeah,
and the cold never bothered you anyway.
Yeah. Is that a Frozen reference?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. But see, it threw me all off now. I can't have these Disney references in here. But
another good name for the show.
Yeah. I can't have these Disney references in here. That's good too. Yeah, that's also good. There's like 2 different names we could have.
Yeah.
But no, like I kept waiting for it to get really bad, and I was like, "I'll cut it then." And then I was just like, I guess slowly after like a year or 2, I was like, I think this is as long as my hair will go now.
Wow.
And that's it. I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't have to worry about that now. I mean, I could.
You spect all of your points into beard and nothing into head.
That's fine. I mean, if I want to look really like cool or whatever, I can just shave the rest of it off, and I eventually maybe will do that. I have done it in the past, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's fine though. Fuck it.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, when you were streaming last week, I was thinking, even though, like, I forgot that we had done a video thing for Patreon, but it's like, I wonder if people, like, when they saw us for the first time, were like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. Yeah. Because I've definitely had that with, like, certain podcasts. I know I told on the old show, but, like, I had been listening to Giant Bomb for a while by E3 2010 when I went to that one, and I saw Ryan Davis like before the show one morning, and I decided to go up and say hi, and I was talking to him for a few minutes because I had seen Ryan in a video on Giant Bomb, so that's how I recognized him. But we were talking for like a good 5-6 minutes before I realized that Vinny was also there because he hadn't said anything, and I'd never seen him on camera. Yeah. And so when he started talking, I knew who he was, but by that point I was too deep in the conversation to be like, "Oh, Vinny," because I would have felt like a piece of shit. Yeah. Right. So I just kind of like rolled with it. But I was like, if I had known, I would have like kind of engaged with him more. Because I thought he was just like someone that was just there with Ryan. I was like, man.
That's funny.
I saw Jeff Gerstmann at the end of the day then, but I was like, he looks busy, so I didn't go say hi. But that was a fun show because I made a point to go say hi to people that I recognized, including Ted Price from Naughty Dog.
Nice.
Well, good for you. Talked to him for a little bit. Yeah, it was fun.
Not everybody can do that. That's good. Like, not everybody has, like, I don't think I can do
it now.
Yeah.
Like this, like, after 2014, I started to finally understand what an introvert I was and that I had social anxiety. And then since that realization, it's become very hard for me to do that type of thing. Right. But then, I was definitely, because I think I was also trying to make an effort of like blogging at the time. And that was like right before the podcast started and everything. So
I've found I'm very brave around people that are famous to other people that I don't care about. But I get
that.
Then I'm just like, oh yeah. They're like, oh my god, that guy's great. And I'm like, should we go talk? You want to go talk to him? I don't give a shit. Like, because then if he hates me, I'm like, that guy sucked. I don't care about him. Fuck him.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Oh, right. No, fuck him. Fuck him.
It's so long too, and Justin can't say shit right now.
Finger slipped. God damn it! It's like, oh,
that was perfect.
That was good. That's fun. I like how I can hit other buttons while that's happening, though, and just anger. That makes it funner. Oh, this is a fun episode now.
I wasn't brave enough to say anything to Reggie Fils-Aimé. He was like just a couple feet away from me, and that dude is very intimidating.
I bet he is, yeah.
I'm 6'2", and he towers over me, and he's also just like a big dude. Right. And then he looked intense. Right. So I was like, okay.
What are you going to do?
And that was literally 2 minutes after I talked to Ted Price.
Right.
So like I was kind of riding high off of that interaction.
Right. Well,
Yeah. That's why I miss E3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, that for me, that's just like a fanboy thing.
Yeah.
But like having everybody together like that, and for those things to be able to happen, not just with like a fanboy and an industry person, but other industry people.
Right.
I think it's a big deal. Like I remember it was like Jon Favreau was hanging out with, I think someone from, Insomniac.
Okay.
Yeah, who's the guy from Insomniac?
Insomniac?
Or wait, is Ted Price Insomniac?
I don't know. Say that? I don't know.
It was either Insomniac or Naughty Dog. I always forget who's in charge.
Was
of
it Neil Druckmann?
It wasn't Neil Druckmann because I didn't know who that was at the time.
All right.
Whoever it was, they had actually like traded badges.
Oh, nice.
But they were just like talking to each other on the show floor. I was like right next to them, and I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, and like. My very first E3, I saw Miyamoto, the guy that I was with, shook his hand.
Right.
I got to tell Phil Lamar that I had been a fan of his since Mad TV. Right. That was awesome. He introduced himself as Phil. And I was like, Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the Summer Games Fest stuff, it is at a place now. So there is potential for that.
They're trying to do something with it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see how it goes, but
yeah. Giant Bomb's going in a weird place for like now they're doing the after show stuff as like a pay a ticket to go watch them sit on the couch type of thing. It's like, man, that organization is just
they are trying to get some money. I haven't been paying attention to them at all.
I only listen to the voicemail dump truck at this point, and it's like I feel they're done by the end of next year if they make it that long. I feel I can see the writing on the wall, it's sad, but also it's like, you know, at this point it's a ship of Theseus to where like it's no longer like it has long since been the Giant Bomb that I care about.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. Yeah. Well, let's see. What else is there to do, Julian?
Should we talk about an actual video game? Have we done that yet?
We talked about video game stuff. That happened.
That's true. We did, yeah. And we did talk about the hottest new release of 2024, MultiVersus, brand new game.
We can talk about... Do you want to talk about a video game, or you want me to talk about a video game?
Why don't you talk about a video game?
Fine, I'll talk about a video game. I played a game called Sports Godfather. It's a video game, and you can play it.
I watched you play this video game, and I have no idea what the fuck I was looking at, Justin.
I didn't either that entire stream. Here's the fun part, though. I was okay. I it's not fully like that. By the end of it, I was like, I'm starting to kind of get this, but I still don't really know what a lot of the shit does or what I'm supposed to like really be doing. But I kept winning. Like if you watch it, it's like, yeah, I won. All right. I don't know how I did it, but I did. So I remember kind of being like, okay, I'm starting to get it, but I don't know if I really like this.
What is it?
So it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of a like management.
At first I thought it was a management sim.
Yes.
But then I saw you playing some sort of like strategy RPG.
Yes. There is also a card game that like it's almost like a board game with like where you have cards involved, but like it's also like an auto battler thing that's happening too. Like you're kind of playing cards that help the auto battle. You win the auto battle that's happening, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
After a while, I started to get it, and like I don't know anything about like MOBAs at all. I have no fucking clue what's happening in them. Mm-hmm. But I started to figure them out because of this thing. So that's credit to that, and by the end of it, I was like, okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it wasn't on stream. That didn't happen on stream. If you go watch that, by the end of that, I'm like, I might try this again, but I'm not sure. I did try it because I was like kind of like intrigued by it. So I went back to it. And like the next morning and then like a couple matches in, I was like, I'm going to give this like another hour or two and let's see if it clicks. And if not, I would just be like, yeah, completely fell off that thing. And then I just ended up playing it the whole day. Like that was all I fucking did. Like I got into that game and I all week now I've been like, I wouldn't mind picking that back up again. It's really fun. It's the things I like about it. Like, I love the strategy. I love the horrible translation. That's great. That shit's phenomenal. But they give you like enough like kind of agency over what's going on. Like you can make your own logo and you have your own little team name and you get to pick the players and you can make them look different. You can have a team of all girls or all weird looking dudes or whatever, however you want to do it. And I'm like, there's something about like that aspect that reminded me of Idol Manager a lot. Sure. Because you could kind of like even like the way they generate characters. Like I can tell there's some kind of generation that they have. Like this one gets this eyes and this stuff and this outfit or whatever. And I'm like, there's something going on there, but they must have like a shit ton because like it's crazy.
Do they have personalities that factor into anything?
Not that I can tell. Like it doesn't seem like that's a thing. But they have like stats and shit like that, so it'll factor like that. Their stats will be, and they play different roles. You play a role in that stuff. I started to figure out like who was good at what and where I needed to have like, because not only are you picking the players, but you're picking who the players are picking in a game that somebody made up. That's basically just a MOBA, but they all have like these little like voxel graphic little dudes that, you know, do shit and like have little like almost RPG battles, but they're all auto generated and stuff like that. It's neat, man. That game is fucking weird. The more I played of it, the more I started to figure out though. Like I'm like, okay, this person's good in the bot lane because they're a support character, and that means there's two of them in that one. So I put one guy that I want to keep alive and this healer over there, and they will just fucking clean house. But sometimes they don't. And I need to put a good, like, solid tank in the middle, and I need to put somebody over here on this lane, and I have to have somebody farming stuff, because that was the thing I didn't get for a while. It's like, there's all these cards about farming. When am I doing any of that? And then I slowly figured out by watching, I was like, oh, he's running around killing monsters and getting gold. Oh, okay. All right. I get it. I get this. Okay. And
yeah, because what I do understand from, like, you know, Dota 2 and League of Legends is that, like, yeah, you need to get the money to buy, like, upgrades for the duration of that match for your character.
It's basically how they level up.
Yes.
In this, yeah. I don't know how Dota or any of that stuff works, but that's how it is in this. And slowly I started to figure that stuff out, and I was like, oh, and then from me figuring the game out, I was like, oh, now I know what this card means. Like, there's a card that I think it says push, like it's like a push ability. Like, and I was like, the fuck does that do? Like, what is, that is the one detriment of the game. It explains nothing. So if you don't know esports, get fucked. Figure it out.
Specifically
or die.
MOBA esports, right?
Yes,
like
specifically
I know,
MOBA esports. Yes.
Yeah, I know fighting game esports. Like, I can understand that.
Yeah, me too.
And I can understand, like, Overwatch League, right? But yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, MOBAs, you need to know MOBA stuff. If you don't know what a jungler is, get fucked. I'm like, I still don't know what that is, but it's a thing.
You got to know what a crumpet is to understand jungling.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no, okay.
Blaine Faye, I thought that was funny. That's all I need.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad, glad someone did. I'm sure this is a reference to something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I slowly started to figure certain things like that out, and like, one of the cool, like, little strategy things that's in it, and I think this is a MOBA thing too, is like, you get to ban picks and shit like that from people, and I'm like, that is fun. Like, that is a big part of, like, the like psychological portion of the thing, and it's entertaining here too, because you're just like, okay, this person has like one guy that like is really good with one guy, and if I ban that guy, they're fucked. But what if I also really need that guy? Because in certain times you run into that and you're like, oh, but I really need that guy. There's like one character that I hate playing against, and I will just ban them, even if nobody on their team is good with them. I'll just be like, no, shield girl is gone. No shield girl. Tired of her. Done. We're not doing it. And the other fun thing is, they make the game update as you go. So they're like, here's the new rule set for this update, like at a certain point in like the season or whatever, because eventually after that stream, if I would have played like one more game, it would have went into season mode. And like, I could have like swapped players out and like had all this other shit happen. And I was like, oh man, this is a lot. And then, and then like they drop an update to the game, and like, here's the new heroes that are available. And then your guys come and visit you, and they're like, we want to get good with these new heroes. And you're like, okay, cool, do that. And then, and the funniest thing about that game is I played it. How long did I play that? Cause it was a good chunk of time. And I have not finished it, but I finished like the first like full league, which was a pretty good amount of time. I put 16.6 hours into it, and got to the next league. And that's like the second league. There's more. And they kept adding stuff. Like, I was like, and they had a free agent mode and a scouting mode. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? Like, it just kept going.
Okay, this is going to have parallels to what I've got to talk about. This is good.
It just kept going, Julian. And I was like, but in a way that I was like, I'm super in. Like, this is great. Like normally, but like I put it down after I was like, I've had my fill of this. My brain can't take anymore, but this is cool as shit. So Esports Godfather is really neat. It's definitely not for everybody. It was barely for my ass. But like, if I feel like you go watch that stream, you can figure out maybe if it's for you, but you know.
How did you find that?
It was on the front page of Steam. And I just looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like one of the, like, you know, X amount of games that they have sitting there. And I was like, and I seen it and I read the name and laughed. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I looked at it and I started watching the trailer and I was like, what? This looks almost good. And then I start reading the description. It's like, it's a card game, but it's mixed with this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And I tried it out for like a half hour with the intent is like, if this is garbage, I'm just going to return it real quick. And I started playing. I was like, no, there's something to this. I don't know anything that's going on. I was like, it'll be really funny to play on stream. So let's just do that. And then I played that stream. After that thing, I was like, I still don't know about this. And then I played it the next day and I was with the full intent. I was like, I'm probably just going to play this for like a couple hours and move right on along. And that'll be Esports Godfather. And then I just kept playing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty all right game.
Cool.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Mr. Domino's running for the independent presidential nomination. No one can stop Mr. Domino. People have tried. All have failed. Vote for Mr. Domino. Hello there. It's Catboy1269 coming at you with some more ASMR. As you all know, ASMR is a passion of mine, and I really enjoy sharing it with all of you, and I hope that it brings you the same peace of mind and calmness that it does for me. Today I have some video game related ASMR, because video games are the second thing that I love even more than ASMR. So I thought it would be really fun to combine the two. So today, I have some ASMR in the vein of Street Fighter II from the arcades in 1992. First, I wanted to recount one of my favorite characters, one of the most beloved characters from Street Fighter II, Ryu. He's basically the main character of the whole series, and he was one of the first characters I ever used. So I wanted to do some ASMR in tribute to Ryu. I hope you enjoy. Hadouken! Shoryuken! This has been Video Game ASMR. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back at you soon with another ASMR video. Thanks.
And now, for something hopefully better than whatever that just was.
What'd you do, Julian?
So I fell into another porn game pretty hard.
Oh, okay.
And like on one hand, I like talking about this stuff on the podcast because I think it's something that people don't talk about on
That's very true.
podcasts. And also like kind of just like eliminate the stigma of it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I tend to find these games and really get absorbed by them when I'm feeling particularly lonely and depressed, and I've been very lonely and depressed lately. So keep that in mind. And this is a game, and I've been finding new games recently in a variety of ways. Like, there's Steam recommendations, obviously, but then also there's this YouTube channel called Sex Positive Gaming, run by this woman who talks about, she does a whole bunch of stuff about, like, here's like the most interesting looking, like, new games added to Patreon, the stuff on Steam right now. She also does a podcast, but I don't know if it's available besides YouTube. And so I haven't listened to an episode because I don't consume podcasts on YouTube.
Right.
But also, like, the porn tube sites will, there are like porn game let's players.
Yeah, I know. I'm jealous of them. I'm jealous of their bravery, Julian. I really am. I'm not kidding.
Well, they're all in other countries, because they're always talking in like a different language.
Right.
But I'll see clips of stuff, and it's like, and I've seen this one, and I was like, that looks kind of interesting.
Right.
And it's called A Struggle with Sin. Terrible name.
Yeah, it's
terrible
not great.
name.
Not great.
It also doesn't really fit. I mean, it fits slightly with the story, but not. There are plenty of better names.
Yeah.
It's only available on Patreon right now. His Patreon says that the game will always be free, but I didn't find that to be the case, because, like, I had to, like, join at the $1 tier to access, like, the lowest tier version of the game.
I mean,
that's free now.
With inflation, free is $1.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a great Sarah Anderson comic I saw recently that talked about existing, and it's just her character, like, in a field on a blanket for like 3 panels, and then somebody hands her a bill for $70, and she's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, this is an RPG Maker game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And listeners should know that, like, RPG Maker games come in 2 flavors. There is the, like, more 16-bit style, pixel graphic style.
Yep.
And then there is the more PlayStation era pre-rendered style.
Yeah, kind of half-ass 3D. Yeah.
So with like pre-rendered sprites on the overworld, and then for the dialogue and the sex scenes is like polygonal characters.
Yeah, they animate that. Yeah,
that is what this game is.
Okay,
is doing. The story setup is kind of interesting. There is a civil war that has broken out between 2 brothers that are vying for the crown on either side of the map. But the game takes place in this small village in the middle of all of that going on, and they're just kind of living their lives. Like, they don't really care about what's going on until they kind of have to. Your character is living with his dad, and he's a hunter, but he's like a real half-assed hunter. He prefers to just get drunk at the pub, and he doesn't really retain, like, the knowledge that his dad's trying to impart until his dad gets killed by an orc. And so then he's kind of having to take care of things on his own. And so that's where, like, his growth starts, where, like, he's having to become a better hunter, and he's having to become this and that.
Right.
And then, of course, he gets, like, cursed by a witch to have, like, a magical giant penis that, can do things, because it's a porn game.
As one does, what are you gonna do?
If I had $1 for every time that I got cursed by a witch and gave me a giant penis that was magical.
Been there. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like the core setup.
Yeah.
And it's an RPG. So like combat wise, it's Octopath Traveler.
Oh, okay. All right.
Minus the ability to, like, hold on to points and then, like, cash them in to do, like, a bunch of turns. But the break system. So, like, enemies will have, like, different weaknesses, and you can exploit those weaknesses to, like, take down their shields and then break them to, like, then have them stunned and do big damage.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So there's a lot more thought going to combat than you would expect for this type of game.
Right.
Like, even now I'm like actually having to strategize for, fights that are at my level or higher.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more than you could ask for most of those types of games.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's doing stuff that I've never seen a video game do before, Justin.
Okay.
And it's kind of the closest that I can compare it to as far as what's going on is Hitman.
Okay.
because as you are moving around the world, and admittedly it's a small world, it's centered around like this village, and there's a couple orc villages nearby, and there's like, you know, environments with like dungeons and stuff in the area. So it's a relatively small area, but the characters are moving around, living their lives and doing their thing. They'll stand around at the hour that you know, so you always, know that like, you know that in the morning, Kate and Rick are going to be talking to each other in front of the tavern.
Right.
But then at noon, Kate goes in to start cleaning up the tavern to get ready to open up that night. Right. Like that's going to happen until like things that you choose.
It's like Skyrim. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes and no. Cause I feel that this is a little bit deeper than that.
It might have like more like detailed like time things and stuff like that than Skyrim does, but like it's kind of like the same basic idea though. Like characters are going to be at these places at these times. But like they probably like in that game are actually doing the things, and they aren't just like in the area of the thing that they're supposed to be doing or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And depending on like the choices you make and the interactions that you have with the characters, like they'll also break out of those routines. And the cool thing is that like you'll discover quests by like walking around an area that you've been in like a million times. But then at this certain time, you're like, who is that? Like, I don't know who that is. They're just walking through here. Where are they going? Yeah. And then you follow them, and then that leads to like a whole new character and a whole new quest and everything. There's so many characters, dude.
That's cool.
And it's a very smart porn game in the sense that like not every character you're interacting with is like a hot woman. Like there's plenty of men around.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, that's a failing of a lot of these games.
Oh,
they want to make everybody a hot lady, and like you need men around also, and you know whatnot. Yeah. Like you need characters that you know your character isn't necessarily interested in having sex with. But yeah, so that stuff is very fascinating. Like there's a very organic way of like figuring things out, and other than like a few quest lines that are very much like level based, where like if you're not strong enough, you're not going to be able to go through this quest. Yeah, you can kind of tackle everything in any order, and it's going to change things. Yeah, and the thing that's most amazing about this game is how the characters react to what you have done and who you have interacted with. And they remember shit, and it's kind of amazing. So obviously this is a game where like you're incentivized to, you know, it's a gotta fuck them all, right? Like that's kind of the thing. But like, you know, you can get into a situation. So at a certain point, like you actually get a party of these two women that you can romance, but they're also like your main party, and they follow you along when they're in your party, and you can still do like sexy stuff with other people. When they're in the party, sometimes they'll just like go off on their own while that's happening. So I think the developer doesn't want to have to explain, you know, why they're sitting by for that. But like sometimes you can get into a situation where it's like, yeah, I just like said hi to this lady that was like collecting herbs, and she's the mom of like one of the other party members, but that character's not in the party right now. And I just kissed her. But the other party member like was thinking like, holy shit, I can't believe he's doing that to like her mom. Should I say something? And then she's like, well, it's not really my place. But then later on, like she'll have more thoughts about it. Like when other stuff is going on, because she remembered that she saw that. And like the game is like littered with like dialogue and interactions like that. And it's one of those things where it's like you can start like trying to fuck with the game and try to see like, I wonder if you have an answer for if I try this thing. And more often than not, the game's got an answer for that. Damn. And it has like, you know, anticipated what you were going to do in this situation, and it's got dialogue for it.
Baldur's Gate level quality of stuff there. Yeah, interesting.
I think more intricate.
It could be. Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously I've only played through Baldur's Gate almost all the way through once. So maybe not, but it's hard for me to explain like how deep the game feels, but it keeps going, Justin, just like you said with Esports Godfather. Like I went into like a weird, like super focused state where like the holiday weekend last weekend, this is all I did. Right. And when I mean that it's all I did, I sat on my couch on my laptop until like 4 a.m. every night. Right. And then would like sleep in till like noon and then get up and then just sit back on the couch because I just could not stop playing it. I'm 50 something hours in, Justin, and I'm still finding new characters.
Right.
And there's a whole new town for me to go visit right now that I've finally like made I've acquired all of the things that I need in order to travel to this second town. I have no idea what I'm going to find there because like if it's anything like the intro town, that's a whole shit ton more of stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible. And also like the story is pretty interesting because like as you get to know these characters, you start to see like the relations to them. And sometimes it's something that you have to connect the dots to yourself. And it's like, oh shit, like that guy's in the cult. Like, cause of course there's a cult. But you know, you figure this stuff out organically, like as you're going through the game, or someone will mention a character and it's like, oh, I know them. Like, you're related to them. That's interesting. Blah, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's kind of fascinating. And so I actually upped my tier from the $1 to the $5 and I started like reading his posts because this developer is actually like, you know, very communicative. Like every week he puts out a very detailed list of what he's been working on and stuff like that. And for the next thing, he was working on this like new thing that you could do with the farm girl where you could like raise livestock with her and he was going to have like an animal husbandry element to it. Like he was going like super deep on it. Then he was like, you know what? A lot of fans were like, this is just like way too deep and you don't really need it to be like this crazy. You know? And I was like, you know, you're probably right. So now it'll just be this thing that you can interact with and, you know, you'll get like, you know, milk or eggs or stuff like that. But it's not going to be this whole like, because that could have been a game just by itself, the way that he was talking about. Yeah. But that is how intricate this like, you know, simulation of this little like fantasy village world is working.
That's a good way to do it. I've always said you should scale down in an RPG and do like that. Like Disco Elysium did that. That game is great. You know what I mean? Like scale down and just make it be about a smaller area and just all the shit that can happen in that.
Yeah. And there's stuff here that I think that like, you know, bigger developers should look at and be like, oh, that's actually like a cool idea. Yeah. But you're right. A big part of it is that since it is centered around a small town with like a limited number of characters, you can have those characters interact in a plethora of ways and remember how they're interacting with each other.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a big thing that we should start doing in video games.
I do too.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium ended up being like one of my favorite games of that generation. And well, I mean, I played it on the PS5, but you know,
one of my
I
favorites
mean.
of all time.
Yeah,
I want to play it again on my list all the time. Every time I think about it,
I could entertain that thought as well. But yeah, it's really cool. And then you know, I mean, part of it also is like on the sexy side, like it's actually doing a lot of stuff that appeals to me personally.
Oh, there you go.
Take that for what you will. I do like the fact that like, I mean, you can turn this off because the audience for these type of games tend to be like very, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Weird?
Like, insecure.
Oh, okay.
So like the penalty, like really the only penalty for failing a quest, and you can fail quests.
Okay.
Like, because stuff happens, right? So like, they'll say like, hey, in a week, this person is showing up. And if you don't have the money, then this thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you fuck around, that thing's going to happen whether you want it to or not, right? And that's what I meant is like the real-time thing where like, as you're moving around the world, other characters are doing things and you'll get notifications, but it's like a good example is like this character that, you know, she becomes a nun and she goes into the church to do this like purification ritual, but she's supposed to come back the next day and she doesn't.
Right.
But I didn't really care about that character that much, so I just kind of let that quest sit for a while until I finally did it. And when I finally went into the chamber, she was like, we've only been gone for a few hours. And I'm like, you've been gone for 188 days. And I was like, oh yeah, I let that go for a little bit. Like I'm in December right now. Like and the weather has changed, Justin.
Right.
I can't believe how intricate this game is.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at is that the only real failure is that like the women that you're pursuing will get, you know, fucked by other people. That's like the penalty because, you know, insecure guys.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you can also, you know, choose to like have like a more open relationship with the characters you romance instead of being that weird asshole where it's like, I can have all the women, but the women that I'm with can never be with anybody else ever in their lives. Like you can not do that. And you can just be like, no, you know what? I'm fucking around. You can fuck around too. Like it's fine.
Right.
So I appreciate that because like I always find that like really stupid. about these games.
Yeah.
Like, and it comes again from such an insecure mindset of like, all women for me, but women can never be touched by another human being.
They're all like that a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
not all of them.
Not all
but a lot of them are.
I should specify, not all of them, but most of the good ones aren't like that, but there so many of them are just like, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
yeah.
you know.
It's this again.
Yeah, it's that. But yeah, it's one of the best of these that I've ever played, and I can't stop. Like, it's all I've wanted to do. Like, it's crazy.
That's pretty cool. That sounds pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
I will say graphically, like, it's around the era of like early 360, and and I say that not only as character model quality, but color palette. So it's a very drab looking game. And that's my biggest complaint, is like, it's very brown and green. Like nature green. I get you. But not a lot in the way of color, and like the characters don't have like a lot of color to them and stuff like that. So that's kind of the big bummer. Yeah. Like if he could go back in and kind of like retool the models and stuff like that and punch up the coloring, I think it could be like, I'm surprised that I hadn't heard of this game before, because it seems like it should be one of the biggest things going.
Is it on Steam or anything?
No, just Patreon.
No, just Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even
that's
on
why
itch.
I've never heard of it. Yeah. It's not on anything, or it's not on itch either. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I've never heard of it, but it sounds cool though. It definitely sounds awesome. If I ever see it on one of those things, I'd try it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got, man.
Oh,
hold on. Wait. No,
are we missing something?
Chill.
Yeah. Okay.
It's time for the 311 button. We pressed it. We got to do it. It has to happen now. And here's the 311 fact for the day. It's an actual fact this time. 311's 1997 headlining tour in support of the Transistor album drew an average of 10,000 people per night in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, they did all right.
They did all right.
311, they're doing all right. Yeah. You know, I don't know what's on that album, but people like it. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you OGsing about? Hold on. Before you'll see. Even answer. Chill. That's been the 311 minute. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I really feel strongly that you should not specify when it's a real or fake fact. I think people should have to suss it out.
You know what? You're right. They're all real facts, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say it every time now that this is a real fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even better.
That's even better. Yeah. Go ahead and tick the 311 tally up here. We're at 17 now.
Wow. Okay.
Doing all right. All right, Julian. All right. What are we doing now?
Okay. So it's time for questions, comments, and concerns. You can send questions, comments, and concerns to the Stage Select. You can do that via email. The email is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. There is a thread in our Discord. You can find the link in our link tree in the show notes. Also, I don't think I've ever said this, but like you can DM us on Twitter. We're on Twitter at Stage Select Pod. I thought that kind of went without saying.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I should mention that. Like,
you should probably mention that. Yeah.
I've somehow forgotten to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with, one over on Discord, which comes from Philip. And he says, "What the fuck is wrong with Abramo?"
Yeah. Yeah. What is wrong with Abramo? It's tough to say. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah. I don't.
A lot of trouble. Oh, geez. Oh, Julian, we have a phone call. That's my ringtone. Hold on. Hello. Yeah, hold on. I can put you on. Hold on.
Oh, hey man, what's up? How are you? I'm a Bravo. I don't know who am I talking to, man? Like I'm here.
Oh, you called the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
No, I didn't call them. I called that guy. He's got a beard.
Oh, Justin Ham? Yeah, he's still on the Stage Select too.
Oh. Why am I here?
I would like to know that myself, actually, Abramo. Yeah. How are you doing? You seem a little burnt.
Well, I was talking to a man, and he was in a truck, and he said, "Hey, come here, man." And I was like, "All right." And I went there, and he was like, "Hey, I got all this pot." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I'd like to buy it." And so a man sold me some pot.
Okay.
And then he's like, "Hey, you know what goes good with pot?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Switchblades." And I was like, yeah, he's right. So he's like, "You can just have this one." And I was like, "Okay, good."
Oh, free Switchblade.
Yeah,
that's a deal.
Free. And so I put it in my trunk, and I drove away, and you know, I got pulled over, and it didn't go well, you know. But so
did they find the Switchblade at Bramo?
Yeah, they found, you know, I don't like to talk about it that much, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but
those damn cops will find a Switchblade every time.
Yeah, I know. There's a big Switchblade problem in the city right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You from Canada by any chance, Bramo?
I'm from around. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
I forget.
Yeah.
I forget where I'm from.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have any pot on you?
I've got some gummies.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, are you interested in committing some light insurance fraud with me? Maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. I'll call you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll call.
Can we maybe launder some money too?
Oh man, yeah, I know a guy. You know a guy.
Okay.
You know, we'll get on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to do crime.
Hey, can I have a job? You have a job?
You know, let me think about it. We might have an open. I mean, what would you be willing to do? We run a variety show.
Oh. Well, I don't know how to do that. I can hide switchblades pretty good, and
okay.
I'm good at hiding them.
I mean, can you work lights?
I can light some pot up. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, not really what I'm looking for.
Okay, well,
we could use a janitor.
Oh, I'm good at cleaning. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to be our janitor?
Okay, yeah. I gotta buy a sponge.
Oh, we got sponges.
No,
yeah,
but
we got what you need.
You don't have the good ones though. Yeah.
Oh, but you haven't even. Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you have a particular sponge, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the way of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go take a nap. And I'll call you back. We'll work out the details. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Just ask for Morgan. He's our stage director, so
okay.
like he'll handle like the intake process, and then we can do an interview.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go tell my mom I got a job now.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I feel good about this. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Go tell your mom.
Okay. Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Nice to meet you, Brahmo.
How did that go? That was a weird. I don't know how he got on there, but he did. I did some fuckery and put him on the podcast. It was the whole thing. Yeah, well,
now he works for us.
Hopefully he stays out of trouble. I don't know if you've heard about him, but he's a handful.
I firmly believe that people should be given second chances.
That's true. That's true.
I think that the best way to stop people from, being reincarcerated is to actually employ them.
That's very
right.
True.
So
That's very true.
Firmly believe that. So we will give him a shot.
Yeah, no, I agree. He had a bad night,
Yeah,
he was telling me about a man in a truck or something.
On anybody?
No, it was
just in his trunk.
Somebody gave it to him. What are you gonna do?
And why why? I don't even know why a switchblade is illegal. Come on.
I mean,
a switchblade is illegal, but I can carry around an AR-15.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 of them switchblades. I don't remember where they're at, but I own them.
Yeah.
You might have to bleep that out. I don't know how illegal it is. I don't know if Frank Miller's listening or not. Now I'm afraid to admit that.
Don't take this the wrong way, Justin, but you look like a guy who owns 2 switchblades.
That's fair. That's fair. I needed to buy a souvenir at gun shows that I would go to. What do you want from me? It was always
That's
like
the most Ohioan thing
it
you
is.
have ever
It
said.
absolutely is. Absolutely. It was. I would go to gun shows with my father, who was, he would, was there for the hobbyist aspect or whatever the fuck.
Oh.
This was in the sane days, so it was a hobbyist thing.
Yeah.
So I would go.
I have a question about your dad in a sec.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, absolutely. But I would go to these, and then I would just go, what's the most illegal thing that I can buy? That I
Right.
can buy, as because I don't even think it was like I'm not getting a gun, but what's the most illegal thing I can pick up? And that was usually the case. I'd be like, oh, this seems pretty illegal. We're gonna see if we can get this elderly gentleman behind the counter to sell me this. And they would. They'd be like, oh, here you go, young man. Have fun.
Yeah.
What's your question about my father?
What's the mood like in the house right now after the evil or the orange overlord was convicted or not convicted, but like
I don't even know if he knows.
Because Fox hasn't really been talking about it, have they?
I don't know. It could be that, but also Julian, he's been very busy because they're preparing for a family reunion. So there's a whole bunch of life stuff. So I'm waiting for that to come up. But I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know if they know. And I'm leaving it that. I'm like, I hope they don't ever know, because that'll be funnier.
I gotta say, I was shocked. I thought for sure that nothing was going to come out of that.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to ultimately change anything. I think he's going to end up.
Yeah, really.
He's going to get elected, and then he's going to be able to evade it for another 4 years, and then he'll probably die. So
yeah,
But okay, all right, Justin. Yeah. I am apologizing in advance.
Oh, okay.
I knew that friend of the show Mike Fallick had sent us an email for questions, comments, and concerns, but I had not opened it.
Oh, okay.
This is like manifesto length.
Oh, okay.
So I have not read it before, so I'm gonna read this and see. We might be able to break it into pieces and discuss, but I don't know if I have to read this whole thing before we discuss. So we'll see how it goes. He says, "Loved the discussion on Xbox shutting down studios. I wanted to share a perspective from a professional that may make change to the discussion. A, copy paste Justin's comment about going public. That is a huge part of it. Also apply that to Julian's take on the economics of it all. Same page, boys. B, the bulk of it. Art history-wise, games are an interesting space. To the perspectives of most art forms, tech, the medium, is separate from the creators. A clay factory makes clay, sculptors buy it. This line has been blurred in video games, and because of video games, that line is getting blurred in all arts. Computer games by many early computer pioneers were invented to help support the tech. For listeners, you can look into Mud 1 or early vector graphic games for that history. Movies have not worked this way. Kodak had almost no control over any creative choices in any movies that use Kodak film for the history of the company. Let's see. In fact, Columbia, who initially, as a company, simply wrote sheet music to go with movies for piano players, had massive control over how theaters were run and movies that played, and the movies that played. A creative controlling the creative space. For my generation of filmmakers, tech has taken over. The analogy would be that the person fixing the TV tower is telling I Love Lucy what to write. The nerd, true nerd, tech-minded, left-brained, are trying to rule the creative. This is not new. There's always stories of the dentist who funds films, but the actual control is now theirs. I'll give an example. I have been in many meetings and worked for many video and content-based apps. They are now able to get tons of money for a gimmick, an app, something you open every day, a new piece of tech that uses content. 100% of the time, I am the only one who wants to pitch based on story, passion, and concept, and not numbers. The majority of the time, I do not even need to pitch that way. They basically are open to whatever, but I want to get to know what they like and want to get on the same page. These apps shut down all the time. Work basically lost to the ages on my part, save for the paycheck.
Right.
In all these cases, not one of the app developers have struggled financially. I want to say this again. Not one of them struggled from the closure of the app.
Right.
These are investments, as you two so wonderfully, but it goes I guess he said, as we so wonderfully put, but it goes beyond that. We have not separated the left and right brain. We have decided that the smarter, in quotations, you can be some objective number that goes up and no distinction between types of intelligence. Instead of a Renaissance person who appreciates all sides of life, art, finance, poetry, sports, etc., we have stripped executives down to who can be the quote-unquote smartest in the room and decide they understand everything. This sounds poetic, but it is a literal thing. Your video has value to a piece of technology. As value to an investment is conundrum that we have had for a while, but to link it to technology is new. An attitude that we would have assigned to weirdos like, I don't want to buy a TV because there's nothing on it, is used in a similar way by executives. How common is what podcasts are on our app as a way to get downloads? What movies are on our app as a way to sell subscriptions? Mm-hmm. What games are on our console to sell consoles? These examples are casual to us now and acceptable, but show a massive shift in having little faith beyond creativity, or behind creativity, sorry. A guarantee of content that is completely new, i.e. you don't get to go to a museum. We have to convince you to come by only getting things you like. How often do people gripe, oh, look, they are moving Harry Potter from this app to another? Mm-hmm. TV used to work that way. Reruns played and then stopped playing on different networks. It was barely noteworthy. Now it's a failure. Now we conjecture on what financial loss caused that shit. This is even more pressure on the artist when you consider that the technology is limited by the owner. There are tons of examples of that in video games. In fact, you wouldn't even think they were distinct in games. People getting high at Atari is shocking to us. I don't think it is. I thought it was cool. Right. But those nerds weren't horking down the fraction of blow that your average rock band was at the time. I.e., it is shocking that someone did something dangerous to be creative because in the mind of the tech industry, the tech and the creativity is the same. While the dangerous mind that uses the tech would be the norm in other creative industries. What games need is an industry leader like Lucas, where the holder of the tech is a creative master as well. Quite frankly, movies need another Lucas as well. In regards to Lucas and understanding this shit, I guess I should say George Lucas just in case somebody doesn't get it. Okay. I recommend Defunctland's work on Michael Eisner and Bob Iger as businessification of animation and theme parks and its successes and failures as an idea. One can compare this games as a service for academic purposes. What I'm trying to say is, we can all easily imagine investing into Google without watching a single YouTube video. We could convince someone to invest in NVIDIA without playing a single video game. That attitude trickles down to business students, to employees, and even to creatives. What motivation is there for YouTube employees to watch Game Grumps? What motivation is there for a game exec to play games? And then he says, P.S. I've been thinking about this a lot since the rather cold comments WB made about Rooster Teeth being unprofitable versus the clearly unprofitable things Rooster Teeth, the company, did, such as unplanned surprise trips to Disney for the whole company. Which is like, fine, they make cartoons, not sheet metal. An unplanned trip to Disney is a great idea. But like, no shit, they aren't profitable. No studio is profitable, by the way. Right. There is a relatively complicated system of debt studios use to make money. Again, it is not like sheet metal where we only make more if it is a profitable business. Even Hollywood execs used to understand you lie in sheet so beautiful stars can play spacemen. And yes, to what Justin would have yelled at me, I don't want to work for those companies. I don't have money because I like what I make. So don't rob me. Also, I spill a lot of soda, so it's sticky. Yeah, soda. That's what it is. Soda, Sprite, everywhere. It's jizz.
Okay. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very interesting. I definitely I can definitely understand that. I think he's right. And I think that's kind of what we were trying to get at with the Xbox talk is that, there used to be a time when it was strictly like kind of the publisher developer relationship.
Yes.
Where people working for the publishers did understand games, right? And so they could tell what was looking good and what was looking bad and had a better idea of saying, hey, this part isn't working. Let's take that out, or let's focus test this and maybe focus this down a bit or what have you, or keep you on top of it and be like, look, this thing is taking up too much time and we're going to miss like your launch by like a lot. Right. So let's cut this and maybe save it for something else or a sequel, right? Like that type of thing. Where now I think we're much in a situation where it's like, the people who are involved with the money have no concept of and
don't care. It's all about their business and exactly. Yeah, pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to get shit from you the second I say it. But I think we do have a George Lucas in the games industry, and I think it's Hideo Kojima. Like, he understands the tech part of it. Like, he is very much like, he knows that part of it. He pushes that part of it, but he's also very much the creative and, you know, designs his game. And actually, Miyamoto, now that I think about it, because Miyamoto, like, the literal, like, design of Nintendo consoles has largely been based around his video games. Mm-hmm. Like, we get the analog stick on the N64 because of Mario 64, because that's what he needed to make that game work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, we need more of those people. There aren't that many, but I think they're the best examples. And that's why I always wanted them to collaborate on something. And that's why I love Beyond Good and Evil so much, because that is what I think that if they had made a game together, that's what you get.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, Kojima is definitely one of the few people left that can just kind of do whatever, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, let's see what that's all about. Like, yeah, video games need more of that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's really it, because a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and I see, you know, a lot of people lately, especially since, like, I think Death Stranding came out, have really started to, like, rail against Kojima being like, well, other people make the video games, and it's like, well, no shit. But, like, also, you know, like, Quentin Tarantino was not the only person that made Pulp Fiction. I was just going to say,
there's a lot of people on the credits of a movie.
Exactly.
But it's generally shaped by, you know,
a visionary.
A visionary, or, you know, the handful of it, or however, you know, it works. But,
right. Yeah. Yeah. And Kojima specifically, like, he is one of the few in video game development where it's like, no, you can see that this is his vision, his idea. Like, his games have a style.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you like them or not. Yeah. If you play one of those games, you're usually going to see, at least find something interesting, or even if you don't, like, it's like they were trying something, you know,
or even just recognize, like, a thematic element or a concept that is kind of ever present in his stuff. Right. Sort of like you can, you know, Edgar Wright is like the one, like, film director where I can see a clip of something that he filmed and I'm like, that's Edgar Wright. Right. Like, I know his style at this point.
Right.
So yeah, I wish there were more people like that. And that, you know, maybe as indies kind of come up, we get a little bit more of that. You know, it's hard to say. I keep imagining this time, and we talked about in the Xbox thing, where there's a breaking point where all of a sudden the tech becomes so accessible to make a game that then the only, like, barrier is your ideas.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can get there one day where games are faster and easier to make, but also easier for laymen to make.
Right.
And you know, because, like, think about how film has changed in the last, like, 15 years. Like,
I forgot to turn the volume down.
That's staying in. That's staying awesome. in. That's awesome. Like, think about how, you know, it used to be, like, really hard to get access to, like, cameras to film something, right? If you wanted to make, like, some dumb shitty home movie, like, in your backyard or like a school project, where now it's like you can just whip out your phone and you can make something that looks pretty fucking good. Yeah. Right? Like, at least on a base level, like, you still have to learn how to frame a shot and edit and stuff like that. But at least, like, the base tech is at a low enough, like, entry point now where you can fuck around with it if you're interested in it and make some cool shit.
Right.
The other thing that I would just say really quick, going along with his thing about, like, you know, the difference between, like, Lucas and then, like, Michael Eisner and Bob Iger, is that I just watched a 4-hour YouTube video talking about the Star Wars hotel at Disney, which, one, I did not know had opened, and two, is now already closed. It was only open for 18 months. And so I think her name is Jenny Nicholson. She had started the video as, like, hey, here was my experience on, like, the Star Wars cruise, quote unquote, because that's kind of what it was, like, pitched as, like, you're on a starship.
Okay.
But as she was making the video, then it became, like, a post-mortem.
Right.
And, like, I was astounded because, like, first of all, like, I couldn't believe how expensive it was. And you don't even get to go to Disney World for the money.
Nice.
You get one afternoon in Galaxy's Edge, but not the rest of the park. And it's only 2 days and 2 nights. I thought that for the money, you were there for a week and you could see the whole park, but then when you went to your hotel, you were in Star Wars land.
Right.
That's what I expected it to be, but no. It's this whole thing with a storyline and it's interactive and stuff like that. But at every turn, it felt like they spared every expense possible, and it looks like the cheapest shit for the most money that you can spend.
That's kind of great.
Then, and then at the end, she was talking about how, this, like, the failure of this hotel is, like, actually indicative of what Disney World is now, because they have found a way to monetize standing in line.
Right.
And she says, so there's no incentive for them to make the experience better, because it's actually better for the bottom line if everybody's just waiting in line all day long for rides.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
And she talked me out of ever wanting to go to Disney World again. I haven't been since 1994.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I got to go. And I loved it. And I've always wanted to go back. But when I was watching this video, I was like, I think I missed it. I think I missed the time. I think if I had gone like 10 years ago, maybe I would have had like a really excellent time. But like they have like, over monetized the shit out of an already ridiculously expensive like vacation excursion.
Yeah.
To the point that like it just doesn't sound enjoyable anymore. And I think that is like, that's the thing with everything right now, right? It's like we've got to squeeze as much money as possible out of this and fuck the end user,
fuck them.
There we go. Yeah.
I nailed it that time.
Yeah. Cause she kept going on and on about the Star Wars hotel of like, it was at a price point where like, you can't expect people to be coming back to this like every year or every other year. It's too expensive for that for most people. So for most people, it's going to be this one and done experience, and it's not even that great of an experience.
Right.
And it's like, I feel that like with a lot of this stuff, instead of like going for, and again, this is the big problem of like everything right now, instead of just looking at that next quarter and those profits, like, let's look at like sustainable profits that are going to bring like a steady return over quarters going forward into however long, right? Like,
yes,
it may not give you the big money.
Julian, no go up. Okay. Number need go up.
No, but what if number go up slightly, but steadily?
No. Number need go way up.
Yeah.
Way up.
Way up. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's fucking depressing.
Yeah, it is.
This is why I ended up playing a porn game nonstop for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just so sad.
You'll have that.
Actually, that's not why it's other things, but.
Right.
Yeah, no, but thank you, Mike. That was very insightful.
Yeah.
Sorry about botching some of the reading. Julian, no read good.
Oh, man, you read better than me. Good Lord.
I'm getting better at it, like, since we started doing like a lot more like listener interactive stuff on the show, like at the old show.
True. That's very true.
Yeah. Because when we first started doing like the Stage Select segment of Nerds Without Pants, reading those comments was rough.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. If you go back and listen to those old episodes, those first ones, it's like, oh, Julian's struggling.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Yeah. But I think that's a show, Justin.
Yeah. Seems like a show. That's good. That's good enough.
Yeah.
I think so.
Got to play some Panda Hero now.
Yeah, we do. We do have to play some. I mean, I'm gonna wait and stream it. That might be a Sunday during the day stream. Who knows? I don't know. It'll be a surprise when. But it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple weeks to play since we won't actually be recording next Friday for reasons. But we are still going to have an episode next week. It is just going to be a very different type of episode.
Yes.
That I'm actually kind of excited for.
I'm actually been brewing up something for it. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out.
So they can find us on the internet. Justin, there's actually a new place for them to find you on the internet.
Yeah, you can find me on twitter.com at Tyrone_Swift. You can find me on twitch.tv/Tyrone Swift, and that's where you can watch me play video games on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing My Destiny Girls, but you have already missed it, but the archive will be there, so you can go watch it.
Yeah. Or if you just want to see a Chrysler Sebring.
If you want to see a Chrysler Sebring, you might have to poke around, but at some point I will go smoke a cigarette, and there will be a Chrysler Sebring for you to enjoy. Yeah.
Both times that I tune into the stream, I saw the Chrysler Sebring first.
Nice. Funny enough, I feel like that's when the viewers peak on because they show you the numbers after it, and I'm like, that's when the Chrysler Sebring was there. I mean, I get it.
Right.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Everybody's like, oh shit! It's a picture of a Chrysler Sebring. Let me watch this.
I'm in. I'm in. And then when I show up, they're like, oh, fuck this. Fuck this. I'm out. I get it.
No, yeah.
All right.
You can find me on Twitter at Julian_Titus. You can find the show at Stage Select Pod. Remember to join the Discord. Discord is a lot of fun. You'll find the link for that in the link tree with all of our other stuff, including our Patreon and all that good stuff. Donations to the coffee would be nice once in a while too. We haven't had anything there. Just,
well, it's
if
there.
you ever want to give us a little gift. But I say that dude, owning a house sucks ass.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks.
Julian, before we go, Abramo texted me and he says he needs to borrow $7.
Okay. I mean, okay. We'll just take it out of his paycheck, but yeah, we can do that.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. I won't tell him that part, but yeah,
okay.
He doesn't need to know.
Okay.
I just think it's weird that it's $7. I don't know what he's going to do with that. Like, who needs just $7?
Can't even buy yourself a combo at a McDonald's anymore for $7.
It's a weird amount of money to need on short notice, but God bless. He's doing.
Maybe he wants to buy 2 bottles of Mountain Dew to get gaming rewards for Final Fantasy XIV. That could be.
There's a new type of monster I've been trying out that I was telling him about. It's called Rio Punch, and it just tastes like Skittles. Just tastes like Skittles. It's fucking weird. It's weird. Try a Rio Punch sometime if you're out there and you don't give a shit about your health. And just think about it, because at first you'll be like, what is this flavor? Because I drank a whole can and was like, that tastes like something. I can't put my finger on it. And then today I drank another one because I was like, I need to know what this flavor is. And I'm drinking it and I'm like, it's fucking Skittles. You sons of bitches. You found a way to make liquid Skittles. I don't know how you did it.
That sounds like the most deadly invention.
It's crazy. And it's delicious.
Do not eat a bag of Skittles along with the Rio Punch, because I think you will actually die.
No. Now I want to do it. I'm not gonna. I don't really like Skittles that much, but I love a drink form of them.
Sure. I can get down with that. Yeah, I'm probably going to go to the gas station after this and get a big Coke. Not a sugar Coke, but just a big, fountain drink.
Yeah.
Like Pepsi Zero or something.
That sounds good.
Look, I'm in Texas. We call everything Coke. It's a thing.
No,
when I say I'm going to go get a Coke, I actually mean a Pepsi Zero.
Apparently it's also a Mexico thing. People in Mexico do that too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's like they don't say soda, they don't say pop. Everything is Coke. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Mexican Coke is the best Coke.
I believe it.
It's the real sugar Coke.
Well, you're more looking for Colombian, right?
No. I mean like actual sugar, not.
Oh, I thought this was a cocaine joke.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No. I wonder if you go to Mexico, would you still say, "Can I have a Mexican Coke," or do you just say, "I want a Coke"?
You just say, "I want a Coke."
I want to go to Mexico and say, "I want a Mexican Coke."
Although they might ask you what kind.
Yeah, I mean that's how it used to be here growing up until all the Californians came and ruined everything. Like, it would be like, "Oh, I'll have a Coke," and they'll be like, "Okay, what flavor? We've got Coke, Sprite,
Ohio, we do the pop thing. Everything is pop.
I remember
here.
the pop because I still. Well, now I pretty much say Coke because I've been here longer, but I said pop for the beginning of my life. Absolutely. Yep.
And then everybody else in the world says soda or whatever the fuck. And
pop is so much more fun.
It's shorter.
Yeah.
There's less syllables. I don't know what you people are doing. You guys are working too hard.
Soda.
Yeah.
Thanks as always to Megan McDuffie for our incredible theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for our logo artwork and being our announcer. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.